What's up guys, I'm Chris and this is Turtle Time, and today I'm going to tell you why the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film is one of the best comic book adaptations of all time. You want to know how serious my turtle fandom is? This is literally the only coffee cup I own. My wife owns 30, I have one. So if you really look at the situation, not just even talking about the background of making this actual film and trying to get it from concept to actually in front of the camera, this film had a knife's edge it had to walk on. Not only did it have to keep in the spirit of the Mirage comics that started in 1984, but it also had to deal with the juggernaut that is the 1987 cartoon.
How come you're not shouting cowabunga?
Well, to be honest, I'm getting kind of bored with it.
And they really are quite diametrically opposed to each other. Eastman and Laird's comics from Mirage are very violent and very serious, even though there is quite a bit of satire on there as well, and definitely it stands on the shoulders of Frank Miller and Jack Kirby and different authors like that. But the 1987 cartoon was also a very kid-friendly enterprise and was a huge hit. So you have this huge audience built in for the 87 cartoon, and if you go too close to the Mirage comics, then you're going to upset, a lot of kids and parents that really wanted that kid-friendly kind of atmosphere. And if you go more closely to the kids side and the more closely to the 87 cartoon, then you're going to alienate the fans that started with the original comics back in 1984. And what they did was brilliantly done, yet surprisingly simple. They closely adapted the stories from the Mirage comics while adding in more kid-like and more fun-like elements from the 1987 cartoon, and they pulled it off beautifully. What they took from the comics was a lot of the story and a lot of the serious storytelling elements, where the Turtles are really young, they've just gone out in public for the first time, and they're reporting back to Master Splinter. From there, they have their first brush with the Foot Clan, and Splinter actually ends up getting kidnapped, and is kidnapped for most of the movie. One of the Ninja Turtles is injured at April's apartment in a huge fight with the Foot Clan that leaves them licking their wounds and ending up going to a farm out of town, where they then come back and are triumphant against both the Foot Clan and the Shredder with a little bit of help from Splinter.
I made a funny.
This is all very close to what the comic storyline told throughout the first several issues, and while they took some liberties in certain spots to make the film more streamlined, for the most part they pull it off. If you would like for me to go into a video where I break down some of the differences between the Mirage comic storyline and the Turtles 1990 storyline, please let me know in the comments, but for now we'll just skip over that part. What they took from the 1987 cartoon, on the other hand, was a lot of the personality characteristics between the Turtles, even though some of that was already established in the Mirage comics, such as Raph having a big temper, Donnie being more of a technological virtuoso, so to speak. But the 1987 cartoon played up the fact of their love of pizza.
You guys eat pizza?
Doesn't everybody?
The multicolored mask that they all wear, as you can see back here. And also more of the personalities that came out of there, like, for instance, Michelangelo being a party dude.
God, I love being a turtle!
Also, the more good-natured ribbing between the Turtles and acting more like teenagers definitely plays more into the 1987 cartoon style. And so what you get is this perfectly balanced movie when it comes to adult storytelling with more kid-like elements that make it acceptable for kids and adults. The fights are serious, the storyline is serious, the Turtles have to deal with loss. You get ethical dilemmas for people like April O'Neil and Casey Jones, and also Danny. While at the same time, Mikey is narrating as Leo slicing up the pizza and one of the pieces falls on Splinter's head. You have Michelangelo playing taps for a pizza that has got penicillin on it, basically. So when it comes down to making a great film adaptation, it's whenever you take the source material and you stand on the shoulders of it and you tell something fresh and new that's not just a direct copy of something that's lifted directly off the page. So with that being the case, and there's no offense taken against the many Batman movies that have been out, Spider-Man, X-Men, the MCU, it's really hard to not look at what they did with the source material they had and the film that they made, not look at the 1990 film and not realize that this is indeed one of the best comic book film adaptations that has been made to date. Even if you don't agree with my assessment there, it's nearly impossible to not at least acknowledge that it is by far and away the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film that has come out to date. And they're still trying to make it work. They still have not figured out what makes it tick well enough to beat that film. And here we are 32 years later, still saying the same thing. That's both very high praise for the people that made this film and pretty damning comments about the people that have made it ever since. And this is a film that filmmakers going forward, whether it's Seth Rogen and his Point Grey Productions and his CGI film that's coming out next year, whether it's Colin Jost and his brother who's writing a new script for the Michael Bay produced Turtles. It doesn't really matter. This is still a Bible that you can follow. You may not follow the rubber suits, you may not follow a lot of the production aesthetics, but telling a simple story involving the Turtles that involves high family drama, great action scenes, compelling villains is definitely worth pursuing. So I could go on for hours talking about this film, and definitely I will be revisiting this film in further videos where we have more discussions around different elements that I just absolutely adore. There's not very much I don't like about this film, probably not much right there. So if you love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you want to see more discussions around the different versions that have come out through the years, this is the channel for you. Please subscribe and click the bell icon so you know whenever we have new videos coming out. And if you like this video, here's a video for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze and a review I did there. So just click right there and that'll take you right to it. Until next time, I'm Chris and this is Turtle Time. You guys have a great, safe rest of the day.